My recent Quora video explained what I'm going to be doing moving forward with my Reddit and Quora, which is instead of answering on a 3 to 5 question basis per video, I'm going to cover the entire month of January in this video and do the same for February for the next video, and then March, April, until I stop answering questions. Hopefully I can cover a lot more questions, and all of the questions are here. If you ever want to see a question and answer, hopefully they're clearly listed here and you can see them. Just make that a bit smaller just so you can see. So yeah, we're going to be, where I left off last time is how do I gain confidence and self-love? And I've already answered that. But every single answer, if you see a question you like, they're all here for you to read at any point. We're just going to be picking the ones that are best for this video. Doing too much in self-improvement. You think you are doing too much self-improvement by making a bucket list of things to do. However, that is just a starting process, where the remaining parts of the process are action, learning from your experience, and trying again. Try not to bookmark, save, or add any material to your bucket list or to-do list. Either two things can happen. You'll stop thinking about self-improvement altogether, or you'll start working on that to-do list you built up. To have the latter occur, you need to build a routine. Okay, so basically, if you're the type of person to add 110 things onto your to-do list related to personal development, you're not going to be very successful, because what you're doing is you're just adding more stuff onto your shopping basket. You have not checked out, you have not paid for anything yet, so you've not actually done the hard work. You're just adding a lot of things onto your shopping cart, and what looks like an amazing shopping cart with 500 things on it, stacked to the top, like above the top. It's like the shopping cart is here. You've stacked up so many things. You have not paid for any of it, so it's just all for show. You don't actually own any of it. How do you own it? You start practicing that stuff in your life, applying it, turning it into something beneficial. Balancing self-improvement and school. Focus on balancing school, relationships with friends. Okay. Allocate time every week to self-improvement. Don't rush things because you have time. It's a tricky one to answer, because without knowing someone's schedule, it's hard to give them advice based on what they can or cannot do. You have to judge things based on your resources available and time. If you're struggling with time management, you need to figure out what's taking up most of your time, and then figure out how you can start working things around that. That's the best you can do, really, if you don't know someone's time arrangement. What was the book that started or fueled your self-improvement journey? The Alchemist and As a Man Thinketh were the first books I read. They were the start of my personal development via books. Yeah, definitely. I remember reading The Alchemist, and I was reading it in my parents' room, and it was a book of my older brother, and I just remembered reading it, and I never really thought much of books. Me and my friends growing up thought books were like whack, thought books were like nerdy, but when I read it in 2020, I loved the idea of the book, because it almost felt like I was watching a movie. I was reading it, but I was so interested and engaged in the story, and the story aspect drew me in. And then when I read As a Man Thinketh, a lot of it was me reading some of the parts of the book and relating to it so much that I was like, oh my God, I love this so much, because I relate to some of the aspects, or I find it very interesting. And that definitely was a spark for me to read more personal development books. More. How do you guys do to grow? Oh, that question does not make sense. Reading books that help find direction, like Awaken the Inner Giant, will be of great help to better understand what it means to be passionate about something, how you can create your own steps towards completion, and craft your own motivations and purpose. You should check out that book. I've done an insight on Awaken the Giant Within. Tony Robbins is a great individual, and he understands the concept of owning owning your life, owning your decisions, and moving forward with that ownership and responsibility. Should I just give up and be average? No, you shouldn't give up. Keep trying to meet your expectations and even go beyond your limits every day, week, and/or month. Failure to do so shouldn't be the reason to quit, but a lesson that you can extract from your failure and use to your benefit next time. Mastery is not about completion, but continuously working on your skill. Definitely. Sometimes we know the answer, we know that we shouldn't give up, but hearing it from someone else is like, it's like music to your ears. It's something that you want to hear. How do you beat overthinking? One way is to occupy your idle time with activities that require focus and attention. One of the main contributors to overthinking is idle time, especially when you're alone. Yeah, so either remove your alone time or your idle time. Make sure you fill up your schedule so you don't fall into overthinking, if you are an overthinker. Self-help books based on my situation. Okay, so I recommended 4 books here. Nice. I've done an insight on every book here instead of The Leadership, which will be my last book insight. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna do an amazing book. Don't commit. If you believe in God, then pray to God and seek professional help. Yeah, don't commit, please. Okay, so clearly from this question, I instantly know the person asked if they're too old to do something. No, you're not too old. 33 is a great age to get in shape. You can get into calisthenics. This is basically body weight exercises that don't include weights most of the time. Yeah, and I give some exercises. I'm not even an exercise specialist. I'm myself, I'm just skinny / in shape. A little bit of muscle. I'm not the one to really give that sort of advice. What are your strategies for reading more? I start off small by committing to 1 page a day, and then slowly built up. If I do fall back from it for a while, then I will go back to starting to 1 to 2 pages. This was something I did do with The Leadership. Was I read 1 to 2 pages a day, and it was a part of my checklist of things to do. And having just that small number motivated me to even start reading it. Otherwise, on the other hand, if I had read 10 pages a day, although for some people that's easy, and for me it's an okay amount, I wouldn't have been motivated to read 10 pages because I would have been like, this is going to take me a while. I could just push it to tomorrow. But the fact that I just put 1 page there, it motivated me to be like, it's just 1 page. That's not going to hurt. Let me just start off with 1 page. And if I like the reading session I'm having, read another few pages. And it's just about, in that aspect, it's about getting you started. That's the important part. And like the example with some cars, if you can get this car started, which a car that has a lot of starting up problems, once you get the car started, then all the problems are gone. It's just starting up the car that is a long process. How do I get unstuck in life? So you know what you want to achieve, just not how. Yeah, so I give a few books that help you with the how aspect. You could be someone who knows what you want to do, why you want to do it, when you want to do it, and it's just the how that you can't nail. There are many resources out there, many ways of learning and collaborating with other people to figure out the method of doing things, and that is one of the most important aspects. Should I focus more on self-improvement or the development of the things around me, people, places, things? You can find a balance. Yeah, there is a balance, and I feel like it shouldn't be either or. It's never either or in this case. There are some things that that are either or, but in this case, find a balance between the two. This one seems to be a relationship with God and practicing making dua to Allah, believing in yourself, creating a routine, rules and boundaries. This is another avenue where I don't think I'm in the right place to give advice on, because I'm still growing and learning and trying my best to stay consistent. Alhamdulillah. 17-year-old trying to self-improve. Ways to increase your knowledge in personal development is to read books and articles about topics like habits, attitudes, and goal creation. Ways to improve your physique and health is by tracking what you eat, picking up a gym routine, and intentionally keeping tabs on your changes and improvements monthly. This was something that helped me with in terms of my physical shape when I was younger, like a few years ago. So I felt like it was just good to give out. And it wasn't advice that I just gave out of my own knowledge, but it was something I practiced from watching YouTube videos and reading articles when I was younger. So it is definitely beneficial. I think I'm going to leave it there. It seems like here is the month of February moving on. So I'm going to leave that for another video. Thank you for watching.